Well, she plays Kate Pearson in the NBC hit show This Is Us. We're talking to Chrissy Metz.
Hi.
Hi, Chrissy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, I want to take care of some business real quick because I did ask the listeners if they had any questions. We did have one listener email. So I want to get to a listener email real quick so I don't forget.
Of course.
Because once I start talking, honey, it's like hard to shut me up.
My life.
Same. All right, so here's a question. We'll start with listener question from Brianna Cortez of Reedley, California. She says, I love you on the show. This is us. I also love when you sing. My question is, how do you get the courage to sing in front of millions of people? She's got two questions, actually, but let's answer that one first.
Yeah, I think it's not so much about the courage, but like the desire and need to like want to tell a story and just to connect with people. And there's like that sort of that give and take. And so I just stay present. And then the same thing with acting, like I just stay present and authentic as possible. And hopefully that translates.
In the moment.
Yeah, in the moment. Yeah.
That's really important. I think a lot of times people don't stay in the moment and
it's not easy.
It's super important.
Yeah, but it's important.
Okay, so here's the second half of her question, Chrissy. She says, how do you remain positive during this pandemic? That's a good question.
That is such a great question. I think we're all asking, ourselves sometimes on an hourly basis, like, okay, what can I do in this moment? And for me, again, it goes back to staying present. Like I can't obsess about what's going to happen. I can't lament the past, but just be present in the moment. And right now, everything is, okay. And it's not easy to do. I definitely go in waves.
I've seen you doodling, my friend.
Yeah, well, I do. And that's another thing. I doodle. I do draw. I sort of takes me out of, worry and doubt and fear. Donnie and I, my best friend, we sing a lot. We just, try to stay positive and do things that help us, to remain happy, when you can.
And you're making us happy with your videos on your Instagram page. I ain't gonna lie. Quarantine cooking, honey, and tetherball.
Listen, you only got the front and the backyard in the house.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you and Donnie doing quarantine cooking, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've never cooked so much in my life.
I'm not a cook. I don't cook. I'm not. No. What cooking is very lightly in quotes cooking. Although Donnie did it, I'm not. We're just having
nice.
Yeah, we're having.
I think I can make. I've made tacos and enchiladas and curry chicken and I got an Instant Pot and I've been a maniac since then.
Donnie's obsessed with it. He made like a whole duck in it. I was like,
Donnie.
I know. He just put the whole. The whole thing, I was like, okay, that intimidated me, and I don't like duck anyway, but like, the Instant Pot is helping a lot of people out.
It really is. It's just like a one pot meal, and it's really great. I made a pot roast in there with potatoes and carrots, and it turned out really great. Yeah, I'm just saying. Well, let's get to some more questions here. Like I was doing a little homework on you, and I was reading in People Magazine's Most Beautiful issue. You talked about finding moments of beauty and peace in this time of uncertainty. Like, how are you doing that, Miss Chrissy?
Yeah, well, as I stated in the essay, I have to start my day off with prayer and meditation.
Super important.
Super important, and a gratitude list. Before I even let my feet hit the ground, at least 10 things I'm grateful for, which we can always find something to be grateful for.
Of course.
Right? Yeah, we really can. And also, I have really made a challenge to be gentle with myself, which then allows opportunity for me to be gentle with other people, because we're all processing this in a very, very different ways and different circumstances. And so I just, I can beat myself up about anything. I'm like, oh, I didn't do this. I didn't get to that. I didn't do that. We're in uncharted territory. So we're just trying to figure it all out.
Exactly. I think it's important to give yourself the grace that you need. I mean, I think God gives us the grace to we make mistakes every day, and he's still forgiving. And I don't know. Just the way I see it is just allow yourself the grace. You're human. You make mistakes. Pick yourself up. Try to be better. Try to do better every day.
Right.
And, if you don't get it right today, then you forgive yourself and allow yourself that time to get it right. So
yeah, absolutely.
Self-care, honey. You got to take care of yourself.
Well, yeah, and absolutely. Like literally, I was like, it took a pandemic for me to like take my vitamins. That's crazy,
right?
That's crazy. But like, I have, if it's not cultivated and you haven't figured out how to nurture yourself, like taking a vitamin is not something you think about. So even taking vitamins or whatever makes you happy, if you want to do your hair, put makeup on, or whatever any of that, what your self-care looks like is really important.
I'll tell you what, I have learned so much. I'll be honest with you, and I've said this on the air probably a number of times, but I have said that it's been a horrible situation, obviously, for a lot of people with this pandemic, and people have been sick, and you have people working so hard to take care of them. And shout out to those who are on the front lines taking care of everybody. God bless them all. But the one thing that I will say that there's this really truly been a blessing in disguise. I have learned so much about gratitude.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely. And appreciation. And learning how to let go and because there's certain things that are just not in your control anymore. I mean, this is one of them situations,
1,000%. Like you have to just surrender and trust. And that is something that is difficult because we want to, control, manipulate. But it's true. I mean, we can be so grateful. And for the people who are literally risking their lives, like thank you would never be enough.
Never,
ever, ever, ever be enough. Like they are the real heroes. And I'm in awe, and it makes me so emotional thinking about it, because they're really contending with a lot. So we have these comforts that we can be grateful for.
It's part of my regimen of talking to God in the morning is going through and really praying for these folks, because they really do. They give everything. And, and so we're going to get to your new single, your debut single, Talking to God. What an amazing song that is. I want to go back for a hot second. I want to talk, I just touched on This Is Us. Everybody knows about that TV show, because trust me, you've made me cry on several times, young lady. Sorry. But another time, don't say sorry, because you know what it is? It's your craft, and you get it. You're able to project those emotions through your craft and make me feel something. Such a gift, such a gift. So I want to talk to you about Breakthrough, because I watched that movie too. Yeah, I was super impressed with that movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it was something that I was like, I have to be a part of this story. Not only because of the way that I live my life and the faith that I have, but my mom went through a medical emergency a couple years ago, almost around the time that I was taking the first meetings about the movie. And there were so many similarities that I would have spoken to my mother's doctors, the way that Joyce Smith, the mother I played in the movie, speaks to her son's doctors. And I was like, this is a miraculous true story that nobody has the answers to. Of why he survived and how could he survive after being,
underwater for 15 minutes.
The fact that they even found him was a miracle.
Right.
And then for them to, recover him, and then he literally was gone for an hour, like no pulse, no brain activity. And, of course, after meeting the family, I was like, I cannot wait for people to see this story. And I'm an actor, but like this is their real life. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of it. It was amazing.
But as you said, you did find the parallels in this movie in your own personal life.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you didn't give up when mom was sick, and you're like, no, no, I refuse to accept that, because the doctors were telling you some very daunting news, and you're like, you don't know my mom.
That's what I
don't know my mom.
You don't know my mom.
That's right.
Prognosis, and you are a doctor who practices medicine, but there's also many other things, and a bigger faith and belief at play. So Yeah.
And I'm big when it comes to that. Trust me. It's like, I'm sorry, there's only one person who orders your footsteps on the daily and knows everything about your life and how it's all going to play out. And
Right.
that's God. And so I love the movie. It was wonderful. How's mom doing today, dear? How's mom?
She's doing well. Thank you.
Good. I'm so glad. Well, let's talk about the song that you sang, the Oscar nominated song for the movie Breakthrough. I'm standing with you.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Devon Franklin, who's the producer of the movie, actually suggested to Diane Warren that I sing the song, and she was like, "Oh gosh." Another actor, literally, that's what she said. She's like, "Oh gosh," another actor who thinks that she can sing. And Devon's like, she actually, like, music was her first love, and that's really what she wanted to focus on. And
Right.
you know, we have different detours and things that take us away from what we want. But just give her a try. And so of course I go to her studio and I'm like freaking out because it's Diane Warren, who I've been listening to for like all my life. And she literally was like, she's like, I literally have to leave. I have to leave because I don't want to say something I regret. So I'll come back when you're done. And I was like, oh my goodness. So luckily she was pleasantly surprised, and she was like, she's like, nobody else could have sung the song, and I'm so glad that, you know, it all worked out, and thank you for understanding. I'm like, no, listen, if your baby and your child, you got to be careful who you put it in, it's whose hands. And so it was an incredible journey to not only star in this beautiful movie, but have this beautiful song that she was inspired to write because of the movie, and then to sing it at the Oscars. Like,
dude, like, really?
What?
Mind blown.
Yeah, like, what is my life? I mean, talk about gratitude. Talk about, like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the process getting there.
Yeah.
You know, in your life, because it is a journey. And so you said this time I'm going to quote you. You said, my own life's journey has been one of proving others wrong. More important, it has been about proving those negative voices in my head wrong, and listening to the voice inside that said I would always be loved.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. When I read that, I went, boom.
Yeah.
It just resonated with me, because I have that too. I mean, I think every person struggles with the voice in their head that says you can't do it.
Oh, imposter syndrome. You can't do it. You don't belong here. You don't deserve it. All the things. But then I have to come back to, like, if we're put on this planet, it's for a purpose.
Absolutely.
And your heart is telling you that you want something. You have to follow that desire, and especially if it's from, of course, good intentions. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you talk to yourself to overcome that? I mean,
sure.
I'm constantly talking to myself. I know that sounds crazy, because people look at me going, this chick is talking to herself. I talk to myself and I answer myself.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
but I do.
I'm like, I don't know. Could I? I don't know. And I have to sort of quiet those voices and just say, like, Chrissy, if you are doing it for the right reasons, then that's why you're doing it. If you love it, it fulfills you, it inspires you, it fills you up, like, that's why you should do it, and not for the fame or the fortune, or, you know, because I need validation or any of that. It's really about why I'm doing it. So I always have to go back to that question, and then it really sort of quiets the ego and quiets the mind and that voice or voices.
Just, learning to overcome your fears and things. My mom, I remember when I started in radio, my very first radio job, I was terrified. I'm like, I got to turn this mic on and talk. And I'm like, I am the biggest talker. Like, I talk all the time, day in and day. I can't, people have to tell me, Rose, shut up. But, you know, here's the time where I get a chance to talk, and I'm like terrified to talk. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Right. My mom said, Rose, just fake it till you make it. You know, God put you there. If he brought you to it, he's going to take you through it.
That's right.
So don't trip. Don't be tripping.
It's true. Like, sometimes it's just that fear of what we think we can't do. And so that we say, like, I suit up and I show up, and whatever lesson I'm supposed to learn that day, that's how I keep kind of moving along.
Girl, your life has been like such an amazing story. Like, I look at your life and from when you were a little girl, and I just kind of try to put myself in your shoes because I like to sing as a young girl too. I still sing, by the way. I'm a karaoke singer. I'm a closet singer.
Oh,
But
awesome.
it brings me joy.
Right.
So, and
Right.
it did as a child, but I had a situation where I was told to be quiet, and it really hurt my feelings, my little feelings. So it silenced me for a while. And then for some reason, I just started singing again, and I decided I'm gonna go karaoke sing. So we did, and it brought that joy back again. And that's why I sing. It's just for the joy of it.
Right.
Joy.
Right. I mean, that's for me, for music is not only has it been so cathartic and healing in my life and helped me get through really, really difficult times, but it also makes me so happy. So
yes,
that's really important. That's
so
awesome.
You're writing right now too.
Well, I've been coming back and forth for the past 2 years, like in between the show and whatever episode I'm on, because I wanted to be a part of this whole process. And I mean, I'm from Gainesville, Florida, and so it's not too far from where I'm from, but also the friends that I've made through the writing, the songwriting process has been amazing. But just to be a part of that whole process is so magical to me, and I wanted to do that. So,
well, you signed with Universal Music Group Nashville. That's exciting. She's like, I can't believe it.
No, really, like when somebody says,
"Believe it, honey,"
it's just so wonderful. It's just when somebody believes in you, especially about something that is so important and dear to your heart, and sees your vision and wants the same thing for you, it's so great. There's no really words for it.
I'm so excited for you. And this new single, this debut single, Talking to God, Chrissy, I listened to this song and I just went, oh my God, what an amazing song. How did you wind up picking this song? I mean, did you go through catalogs or did you listen? I mean, how was the song presented to you?
So my manager, he and I are very close. And so he's like, oh, so-and-so wrote this today and so-and-so wrote that. And so I'd always have him, because I just love music. So I just want to hear what people are writing. And he sent this one to me, and he said, oh, Nicolette, who was going to be opening for me on tour actually in June, co-wrote this with Ashley McBride and a couple.
Nicolette Hayford.
Yes, Nicolette Hayford. So I was like, I love this song so much. Like, who's cutting it? Is it not going to make Ashley's album? And he said, I don't think so. And I was like, well, hello, hi, me. And he's like, oh, my God. He's like, Chrissy, it would be a perfect song for you. So, it just sort of, the universe works in incredible, mysterious ways. So, and
it's so amazing.
I needed to share that story because I live it. It's something that I live.
So the song, tell us a little bit about like the song itself. And
obviously it's called Talking to God. And one of the lines is, it still stings a little bit. So many things I would do different. And I mean, that resonates with me. I was married previously many moons ago, and who I am now is obviously not the woman I was at 25, 26 years old. And I just think like, wow, like we get to learn so much from whatever lesson is brought into our lives. And then we, of course, hopefully evolve and grow from that and use it into our next relationship or friendship or you name it. And that for me really was loud and clear, that when you know better, you do better,
Absolutely.
And that there are people that you can think about and you will always love, and they might not be in your life anymore. And maybe you've grown apart or, outgrown each other. But, when it's the line is, I was talking to God last night and your name came up, like there are still people who think about and love and pray for, but just might not be in my life or maybe have passed on, so I think there's so many different ways that people can relate to it and ways that I relate to it. So.
Yes, it's such an amazing song. It really hit home for me. When the first time I heard it, I was like, wow.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad.
Chrissy, what a great debut. I'm so excited because I love right now the climate for women in country music right now. We're talking about new artists like Ingrid Andress and Gabby, and now there's Chrissy Metz, and I'm excited about this for you, my friend.
Thank you.
Honestly, I'm not a doubter because I've seen everything you've done, and it's like, dude, she's got this.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, God willing. And it's just, I just hope people love it the way that I love, you know, doing it and performing and connecting with people. And it's just this other beautiful facet of connecting with people that I've always wanted to do. And because I love music so much that, you know, it's just this natural progression and evolution for me and my creative side. So
I love that. So when is the album going to be coming out? Do you have any idea, kind of like an approximate?
Yeah, so we're probably going to release about 4 other songs for an EP before the whole album, because we've already done 5, and we were trying to, you know, wrap up the other back end of the album, but because we can't get into the studio, it's been postponed.
Right.
So an EP should be coming within the next couple months.
Is there a place to pre-order?
We don't have a pre-order link yet, because we don't know, of course, what date and all that jazz. So
sure,
as soon as we find out, we will let everybody know.
Girl, I'm trying to get the scoop so we can get this album out there, get this music out there.
Thank you. I so appreciate that.
Chrissy, it's been such a joy talking to you. My goodness. Y'all, it's Chrissy Metz. She plays Kate Pierce in the NBC show This Is Us. She is a singer, songwriter now, or has been for quite some time, actually, and unbeknownst to a lot of us, but she is so talented. And Chrissy, we look forward to what lies ahead for you, my friend.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure, and I hope you stay well. And
absolutely, you too.
Keep singing that karaoke. Maybe when I'm in town, we can go sing together.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's a date.
Okay. Okay. Hold you to it.
All right, my dear. Take care.
Bye.
Blessings, dear.
Bye.
Bye-bye.